The high priest leans forward in the lamplight. It is past midnight. The trial has been going for an hour and nothing is sticking. False witnesses keep contradicting each other. The charges keep falling apart. Caiaphas is running out of time, and he knows it. So he asks one question: "Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed?" The room goes silent. Every priest, every scribe, every guard waiting to see what the man from Galilee will say. And Jesus answers with two words. Two words that every rabbi in that room recognized immediately. Two words that had not been spoken by a human being since the burning bush. Two words that, the moment they left his mouth, ended the trial. Because now there was nothing left to prove. He said, "I am." We are going to look at every time Jesus used those two words in the Gospel of John. 7 declarations. 7 moments where he reached back into the deepest theology of the Hebrew Scriptures and said, "That is me, I am that." And by the end, you will never read those words the same way again. Here is where it starts. Not in a temple, not in a synagogue, on a hillside, next to a lake, with fish and bread still in people's hands. It is the day after the feeding of the 5,000. The crowd has tracked Jesus down on the other side of the Sea of Galilee. They are excited. They want more bread. And Jesus looks at them and says something that stops the celebration cold. "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never hunger. Whoever believes in me will never thirst." The Greek word here is artos, ordinary bread. The kind you bake in a clay oven. But behind it stands a Hebrew memory every person in that crowd carried. The manna. 40 years in the wilderness. Bread falling from the sky every morning. Bread that only came from one place. Jesus is not comparing himself to bread. He is claiming to be the source. The crowd does not cheer, they grumble. By the end of that sermon, most of them will walk away and never come back. And Jesus will watch them go and not chase them. Stay with me. Because that first, "I am" sets the pattern for everything that follows. 3 months later, Jerusalem. The Feast of Tabernacles. Jesus is standing in the temple treasury. The room where the giant golden lampstands burned all night during the festival. So bright you could see the light from outside the city walls. The Pharisees are watching him from across the courtyard. And Jesus looks at those burning lamps and says, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." You have to understand what that room meant. During the festival, those lamps represented the pillar of fire. The same fire that led Israel through the wilderness for 40 years. The same fire that descended on Sinai. The Pharisees knew exactly what he was pointing at. They push back immediately. "Your testimony is not valid," they say. "You are testifying about yourself." Jesus does not back down. He says, "I know where I came from, and I know where I am going. You know neither." Here is what most people miss. This is not a spiritual metaphor. This is a territorial claim. Light, in the Hebrew imagination, was not a symbol of goodness. It was the presence of God himself. When Jesus says, "I am the light," he is not saying he will help you see better. He is saying, "I am the thing the lamps are pointing to." The Pharisees pick up stones. He walks through them and disappears. Now, it is winter. The Feast of Dedication, what we call Hanukkah. The religious leaders surround him and demand a straight answer. If you are the Christ, tell us plainly. And Jesus says something that sounds simple, but lands like a verdict. I am the door. He is talking about shepherds. And if you have never seen a first-century sheep pen, you are missing everything. These were not fenced fields. They were stone enclosures with one narrow entrance. At night, the shepherd did not lock a gate. He lay down in the opening. His body was the door. Anything that wanted to get to the sheep had to go through him first. Jesus is not offering a metaphor about access. He is describing a posture. A shepherd who puts himself between the sheep and whatever is moving in the dark. And then immediately, he says the next one. I am the good shepherd. Those four words would have hit the Pharisees like a slap. Because 600 years earlier, God had spoken through the prophet Ezekiel and said, the shepherds of Israel have failed. They fed themselves. They let the sheep scatter. They ruled with force. And so God himself declared, I will come. I will be their shepherd. The Pharisees knew that passage. They knew God had promised to remove the bad shepherds and take the flock himself. And now this man from Galilee is standing in their temple saying, I am the one Ezekiel was talking about. They try to seize him. He slips away again. Then comes the one that breaks you open. A message arrives from two sisters in Bethany, a village 2 miles outside Jerusalem. Their brother is sick, dying. They send word to Jesus, the one you love is ill. Jesus waits 2 days. By the time he arrives, Lazarus has been in the tomb for 4 days. Martha walks out to meet him on the road. And she says something that sounds like a statement, but is really a question. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. She believes in resurrection. She believes it will happen someday, at the end of time. That is the theology she was raised on. And Jesus stops her right there. I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even though he dies, he will live. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? Not, I will raise him someday. Not, resurrection is coming eventually. I am the resurrection. Present tense. Standing in front of you, on this road, right now. Martha says yes, and you can hear in her answer that she is not entirely sure what she is saying. Then Jesus walks to the tomb and weeps. The shortest verse in the Bible, 2 words in English, and in Greek, just one, I cruisin'. He wept not the dignified composure of a religious leader, but something physical, something that shook him. He wept even though he knew what was about to happen. And then he called Lazarus out of the grave. Pay attention to this. Every I am statement before this one was a claim. This one is a demonstration. He does not just say, I am the resurrection. He proves it. In a cemetery outside Jerusalem, 4 days too late by every human calculation, the last 2 come in the same night. It is the upper room, Passover. Judas has already left. Jesus knows what is coming: the arrest, the trial, the cross. And he is spending his final hours not preparing himself but preparing his disciples. Thomas asks, we do not know where you are going, so how can we know the way? And Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. 3 things, not one. The way hodos in Greek, a road, a path you walk on. The truth, not a concept, but a person you can stand in front of. The life, the same word used at creation, when God breathed into dust, and it stood up. This is not a religious slogan. This is a man telling his closest friends, hours before his death, that everything they need is standing in the room with them. Then they sing a hymn and walk out into the night, down through the city, across the Kidron Valley. And as they walk, Jesus reaches out and touches the branches off the grapevines growing along the terraced hillsides and says, "I am the true vine." Israel had always been called God's vine. The temple itself had a golden vine carved above its entrance. The prophets Isaiah and Jeremiah had used the image over and over, and always as a warning. The vine had failed. The vine had produced bitter fruit. And here, walking toward the garden, where he will be arrested, Jesus says, "I am the vine that will not fail. Stay in me, and you will bear fruit that lasts." It is almost tender. This last "I am," spoken quietly to 11 frightened men in the dark. And then the soldiers come. They enter the garden with torches and weapons. Judas is with them. They are looking for Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus steps forward and says, "I am he." And the soldiers fall backward to the ground. 2 words. Armed men fall down. Now, we go back to where we started. The torchlit room, the high priest leaning forward, the question hanging in the air. Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed? Jesus looks at Caiaphas and says, "I am, and you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power, coming with the clouds of heaven." Caiaphas tears his robes. The trial is over. Not because Jesus confessed to a crime, but because he said 2 words that no human being was supposed to say. 2 words that belonged only to the burning bush. 2 words that meant, "The one who spoke to Moses is standing in your courtroom, and you are the ones on trial." 7 declarations, 1 gospel. And they build from bread on a hillside to a courtroom that changed the world. Here is what you take from this. First, every I am statement is an invitation before it is a claim. Bread for the hungry, light for the lost, a door for the endangered, a shepherd for the scattered, a resurrection for the grieving, a way for the confused, a vine for the rootless. Jesus did not choose these images randomly. He chose them because they describe what people actually need. And he is saying, for every one of those needs, I am the answer. Second, the I am statements cost him something. Every time he said those words in public, the religious leaders escalated. Stones were picked up, arrest attempts were made. He knew exactly what he was doing. And he kept saying it anyway. Because truth does not stop being true when it becomes dangerous. Third, and this is the one I want you to sit with. He said, I am before the soldiers fell down. Before resurrection morning. Before the ascension. He did not say, I will be, or I am becoming. Or someday you will understand. He said, I am. Present tense. Standing in your moment. In your grief, your confusion, your hunger, your fear, whatever you are carrying today, He is not far off and waiting. He is present tense. Right now. If this reached something in you, share it with one person who needs it. And if you want to go deeper into the Gospel of John, the next video is right here.